Good morning, guys. So heading down to breakfast because the hotel does provide breakfast, free breakfast in the morning. So I'm taking you guys with me and I'm seeing what is really fed for breakfast, I guess, and how it is. Good morning. Nadia.
Very comfortable. Well, I have it.
How much?
Back on the
Good morning. They already said us?
No.
Said anyway. Okay. Yeah. Tell him did. You called him? Okay. He's comfortable. Good morning. Where you want to sit? You want to go there? Come on. Lovely. Disturbed. Yeah. Right there. Yeah. Well, let's sit there. I just think if a family come in that's bigger than us, got internet? Yes, guys, so I'm hoping everybody have a good morning. Wait till we go get some food. Breakfast time, guys. She's not gonna eat all that. Just okay, sis, here's your bread. Bagel fed to Eat time. Your
everything
omelet.
I love dairy. I love to cook it just to see the cheese melt.
You know,
Yes, I can't have it. I let my daughter eat it. And I watch her eat. She's like, Mommy, you know you're weird. You have to I'm like, I want to see you eat my beautiful meal.
The older I get now, I notice I can't eat that much cheese. It bloats me.
The bloating.
Yeah, I can't picture a world without dairy. That would be crazy.
If you travel to Paris, that's all they do, cheese, bread, and wine. I've never met the French people. They're never in a hurry. Their lunch break is 2 hours.
Wow.
Yes, they
Maybe
take breaks.
that's why
They go
Haitian
home
people are
and
the
then
way
they
that
relax.
they are.
They take a nap. They believe in napping in the middle of the day so they can be productive. If you're waiting for something from France, you think people are just like, bonjour. Just the way they say bonjour, that's how they do things. They move. And I'm like, I get so impatient with them. And that's the way they are. They don't do anything quick. They do not like, they know about family. very family oriented. In France, on Sundays, everything is shut down because it's family day.
Now,
It's
I
like
believe that.
they force you to be with your family.
We have a lot
Unless
of
you're a
French
taxi
ways.
driver. And there are few movie places that are open. Most everything, the malls
Also,
are
they
closed
encourage
because they
you to
encourage
bond.
family, yes, to bond together,
that's
to have
great.
family time, family meals. And people don't work like in America. People always trying to work to get rich. In France, you work so you eat, and then that's it. And then until you work again, you eat again. They don't believe in like making all that. Well, if they don't already have it, you don't see people like rushing.
Yeah, getting
two
crazy.
jobs. People don't have friends. People don't know about two jobs. Two jobs. I think the government will make you pay a penalty if you do that because they don't encourage that. The taxi drivers, you can only work up to 11 hours per day. There's no such thing as working like crazy. Oh, absolutely not. They don't tolerate it.
Americans do work.
They work
like
too
crazy.
much.
They work a lot.
They don't have the family time. You know, the kids are raising themselves. You know, it's a lot of disconnect.
Yes.
You know, and they lose their children a lot. You get the government to step in and take their kids, and then sometimes, because I used to do that, and having a conversation with the parents, like, what do you want me to do? But I'm like, ma'am, you had these kids. How are you gonna raise your kids when you have 2 8-hour shift? That's 16 hours a day. Like,
Yes, you have no time.
yes, your husband worked 2 jobs, you work 2 jobs. Who's raising your kids? We don't have a village here. In America, there's no village concept. You have your kids, they're your
Yeah.
problems. It's not the neighbor's problem. It's not the grandmother's problem. It's your
It's
problem.
either
You're
your problem or the
responsible.
state.
Yeah, but the state would intervene, and
Because
people don't
everybody
understand
is so busy. It's not that people don't want to
They don't
form a
make time.
village. The bills.
Yes, yes. I think that's what drives them to work as much because the expenses. So they have to make sure that they're on top of their game.
Yeah. Or they cannot afford certain things. They
fall
want
behind.
to have it so much that they're willing to sacrifice their kids, their life. So I know some people that have 3 jobs.
Wow.
You know, the
do
lady
they have
that
time
braids
for
my hair.
themselves?
This lady, she's like, even 2 hours she has for herself. She's like, I need something to do. I'm like, what do you mean? You only have 2 hours a day. She's like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, what about sleeping? She's like, I've never heard people make money while they sleep. If you find something like that, let me know. Then I'll sleep. And I'm like, how do you do it? She's like, well, she drank that thing, that special drink. What's the name of that drink? It's like this. It's not Malta. It's
Is it Red Bull?
no, it's not Red Bull. It's something else they drink. Asian people drink it a lot.
Dole?
It's
Ginseng?
no, it has
Robusta?
alcohol in it. It's dark. It's like dark drink. It's very
Barbecue?
strong.
That barbecue, I know.
No, not wrong. It's not real alcohol, but it has alcohol in it. That's what some of these people drink, and then they eat that peanut, the green peanut, pistachios all day, and they drink that drink, and that keeps them up and energized. And I'm like, your body, at some point in life, you're going to break. You're going to break. Because there's no way, as a mom, and I tell all my moms, the minute you become a mother, being a mother enough is a full-time job. How are you going to be a mom of small children if you had a 6-month-old and you working 3 jobs?
So who's with
The older child is with the little child. So it's like their parents apply.
they're forced to be an adult.
Yeah. And then when the kids go to school and they talk about it, and then that's when the state will intervene because children should not be raising kids. Even if you have a 17-and-a-half-year-old, you cannot put that responsibility on them. It's very important, and parents don't understand that. And they think automatically because you're older, you have to assume. No, you do not. That's not your job. You can assume yourself, and you can be responsible for yourself. Like you can leave a 13-year-old by themselves, but you cannot leave a 13-year-old with 2 little younger siblings for them to watch because that's not okay.
That's not their responsibility.
No, it's not.
Because they can barely make good decisions themselves.
Yes,
Right.
because kids want to be
wanna
kids.
Yes, allow them to be
That's a lot of the issues.
And
in
my
Haiti,
parents stole
too.
that away from me too. I was never allowed to be a kid. I was 14 and a half when I moved to the state. They could no longer afford a nanny I became the nanny. Did I sign up for that job? No. And then I have so much responsibilities as a kid. No one was looking at my show to see if I was doing my homework. Because I have to put kids to bed by 8 p.m., right? And that's when I can attend to my homework. And then my parents, all they want A's. But I don't have time to study, right? But they want me to bring A's. So if I didn't put like a lot of effort into it, then I would get whooped. You know, my parents were still whooping my ass. And we were in Florida. But they would whoop their asses of the kids that were born in America because they're Americans.
Right.
So in the same household, we were separated because we had different rules. The Haitian kids with their rules and the American kids.
Wow.
Can you understand? And it's a lot in the Haitian household. It's like two set of expectations. It's not the same.
Wow. Wow.
Notice some of the people were not as friendly.
And I did notice that there were some Caucasian that when you pass them and you try to say hi, because I know a lot of people, they understand the Spanish, so I say hola, but some people they just hold it, they don't even acknowledge you.
Really?
But there were very few.
Few. Okay.
Most of the people were they're very friendly, very friendly.
Yeah.
So I didn't read that, but then I did notice. I was like, sometimes I was like, that's odd. Why did you know? I mean, I know you see me.
I know.
And you must hear me.
And then that's why sometimes I get loud. Hello. Like sometimes it's like you could just let it go, but sometimes I'm like, hey, you're gonna notice. Hello, did you hear me? I said hi. You're like, oh,
Right.
I'm sorry. No, they're not sorry. You just make them feel like shit, because I like to do that. Like, hey, don't.
Yeah, so I didn't
like
read that, but then I did notice one or two people at the resort. But they were guests, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Thinking they were a little better.
But yeah, a lot of people they're very friendly. I don't speak Spanish well.
We don't
So I
speak Spanish either.
had to do a lot of gestures. I use Google Translate the Spanish.
I don't speak Spanish, but most of the people here though, they speak English.
Yes, even if not a lot, they speak a little.
Yeah. They're always trying to help you. Like you put your little Spanish and their little English, we're good to go.
Yes, because I was wondering, will I be able to communicate? But it has gone well. And my trip is over.
Yeah. I remember when I was going to Paris, the first time I visited Paris, I was so afraid. My children were like, Mommy, we're not gonna be. I'm like, you're fine, you're fine. And I never really speak French. Because I do my first language was French. So the first language I learned at school was French. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to. No, everyone spoke English. Actually, they don't even want to speak French in France.
Oh, that's
The minute you said you're American, they're like, oh my God, because they want to practice their English. They don't want to speak French. I didn't meet anyone that wanted to speak French. And then the minute they find, oh, they have an American here, everybody wants to serve me because everyone wants to speak French, English. Yeah, it was French. And my kids are like, Mom, we didn't get to speak French at all. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fun. Very different culture. You know, I like it over there. The first thing they serve you is bread and wine. When we first check in,
Yeah, no, they're big on wine.
they served my kids champagne. They had flour. It's like it was a honeymoon. So I'm like, it's not a honeymoon. We're not here for a honeymoon. It's me and my children. And then they're like, no, that's how we do five. You know, you're in a 5-star man. And I'm like, but these are kids. Why you have rose petals on their bed? You have rose petals. And then the guy opened the champagne and served my kids. I'm like, hey. He was like, why not? And I'm like, I have a 13-year-old.
You're saying they're underage.
And then he's like, oh,
Here we are, drink.
underage over there. Over here? No, it's okay.
It's like Haiti too. They're all little kids, you know.
But the thing is, when I grew up,
That
Marie,
sounds fun.
I drank. your parents didn't put it as they giving you alcohol. When they serve, especially on Sundays, they serve liquor, what we call a liquor. That is one of alcohol. And then cremas, because when they give you dessert, it goes with cremas or liquor, both of which have alcohol.
Yes.
So when I came here, when I moved to the US, and then they're like, no alcohol for children. I'm like, oh my God, I've been drinking alcohol my
all your life.
My parents were like, we have a problem. I'm like, And then when you became so conscious of it, it became a problem because whenever I drink, now I get drunk. And I used to drink I'm like, was I going out drinking? I was a little drunk kid all my life. I never noticed.
Because I think once you stop drinking,
your tolerance level changes.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me, like a little bit. Because, but a person that drinks really through the day, they're not gonna be like us. It's gonna take a half a bar
for them to,
for them to even get the,
to get that effect. Like I sat at the bar yesterday, I had 2 little sips and I can feel it. I'm like, let me not fall.
She came back real light.
Yeah, it's true when you stop. Yeah, because I used to go out and have drinks and everything, and I would be fine. But then for a while I wasn't well and I stopped the alcohol. And now it seems as though when I have, like after one drink, that's it.
That's it. You're like, hey, what's the party?
Yeah, after one drink I start feeling, I'm like, this never used to happen. I used to have drink after drink after drink. But it's like during that period when I stopped,
detox,
my body changed. So my tolerance level is not the same.
No. The body is really complex, I would say.
I can travel with alcohol, right? I can travel with rum and so.
As long as you have to buy it at the airport though.
I have to buy it at the airport?
If you want to carry it to the plane, you have to buy it at the airport because they won't let you come in with liquid to the security.
No, wait. Can I put it on my check-on?
You can do that. Yeah.
But where can I get? You think I got the bubble wrap?
I think at the airport they have a place they do the bubble wrap at the airport.
Oh.
Yeah. I've seen it at the airport. Here they have more stuff because they can do more in the U.S. Everything is so restricted in the U.S. But here, So
yeah, because I got two bottles at the hotel where I'm coming from. So I wanted to take it back with me to try.
Yeah.
So it says Dominican rum.
Dominican rum, yeah.
And a bottle of champagne.
Is that a Jamaican thing?
And a bottle of
Everywhere
champagne.
y'all go, y'all gotta bring a rum. My best friend, whenever she goes to Jamaica, says she always bring back like bottles of Jamaican rum, and she gets through with it.
You have to put your check back.
People be wanting it, so I'm like, I told her that'd be a good business.
No, yes, they love.
Yeah, people buy it from her.
I like the rum cake, the Jamaican people make.
Yes.
That thing is good. I used to be at work and then this Jamaican lady makes rum cake. And I eat it at work and I'm a little bit,
tipsy. Yes, merci.
I was very
Vamos a un petit café toujours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coffee is stable, yeah.
Boy, un petit café.
Yeah. I like that coconut cake. That coconut rum.
Oh.
Yeah. It's very good. But in the Bahamas.
So guys, we have
Yeah, whenever it is true, whenever Jamaicans are traveling, they are going to pack all their stuff. They're all gonna pack things from home, all of their foods, and then their herbs, and everything. Their alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, they don't play with their alcohol.
So you can expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, because my family and even friends, when they go to the States and such, or even Canada, there's a lot of locals there that want, so they have to take back that. So that's yes. So let me get to that. That's the reason why they travel with all of that, because they have to take that back. It's a culture where who are overseas, they miss the taste of their own food.
Their own food.
So anyone that is coming out, so you hear someone say, "Oh, someone is coming out. We need to go roast breadfruit, fry fish, and prepare all of the things from there to package it and take it back so they can have, and even the patties."
Taste of home.
Yes, so they crave the taste of home. So if you're coming out, just prepare and have extra luggage for all your friends and family that you're going to see.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Just like
And they literally
when you
store it
going home.
and freeze everything so they can have it for a longer period. So that's the reason.
Yeah.
wow. And it's pretty much like when you going into your country, right? They ask for all this stuff from the U.S. and it be like, some stuff you could get in Haiti, but it's the thing about it coming from.
They want it to come from here.
You know what
the
I'm
US.
saying? From
I
the
guess
US. Yeah.
Every time, it's like I feel like I'm in the States. I don't even feel like I'm not home. And I keep forgetting I'm in the DR.
I know,
I'm in
right?
Boston. One in yet. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You want it?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
You want some of my condensed milk?
yes.
Whoa. I like condensed milk.
Yes.
I'm allergic to milk, but I can tolerate the condensed milk. So isn't it ironic? It's still milk, but I can tolerate this. If I have any other milk, I'll get sick.
Yeah. That's good, sis. That's good. Thank you.
It's like that sometimes. I don't know what it is, but
Lactose intolerant?
I'm lactose, yeah. I don't break out in hives or anything. I just cannot do anything for the day. I have to stay in the bathroom.
yeah. Oh, I'm glad that does happen to me because I love dairy so much.
Like,
I
there's some
love
cheeses.
dairy.
I
Yeah.
see that. I'm looking at
So people wasn't allowed to have friends. You couldn't have people over, including some family members he didn't like. So it was being in prison. So and my parents were not helping. So when I would run away, because I married very young, I ran away like a kid, and they bring me right back to that man. I called the cops, and it's like I had no job, no money. Like, what are you gonna do? So I started thinking smart. I started putting money away because the one thing he was not doing, he was not calculating how much money I spent per day. I realized he never thought about how much I was spending. Even though sometimes I purposely do it to see if it's gonna come after me, he doesn't notice. So I started putting money away. He wasn't paying attention. So I put enough money away and I ran away and I went to Boston. And because he would never come to the cold, he always talk about the cold weather. He would never step foot. Like the first place he went when he left Haiti was New York. He hated it because it's too cold. He would never go back. So I'm thinking, I'm like Canada. I'm like, do I really want to leave the country? I don't want to start all over again. So I thought about Boston. I went to Boston, and my daughter, my youngest one, was 2.5, and I ran to Boston. And then when I got there, so with all the police reports and stuff like that, so they kind of gave me, like, they put me under an umbrella that this man couldn't get to me anymore. So with that, and then that's when I became an individual. Then that's when I started learning for me. But still, I was only giving, because I'm a giver at heart. Like, I think I'm here to breathe through my children. And I put myself to school. So I went back, I started going to school.
That's great.
And that's what I wanted to do. My husband's like, absolutely not, because you're not going to be higher than me. The Haitian men, they have this mentality, they need to be up here and you down here. So more education, meaning that you're gonna think you're that at the same level. Yes. So I'm like, no, I need to go back to school because that was my dream. I put myself to school. I went to school with both of my kids. They actually went to school with me because I had to drop them to school, pick them up, and go to college. And my poor babies, bedtime, they were sitting in college with me. And I'm like, oh my God, my kids actually went to college because they did it with mommy. When I got that degree, my first bachelor's was with my children. So it was a very big accomplishment for me. So then again, I did everything with them. And then a friend of mine came over for a visit and she's like, let's go to New York. I just pick up. I have no responsibilities. As long as I'm with my children, I do whatever the fuck I want. And then we just went to New York and we went shopping. And she noticed I didn't buy one thing for me. Everything I bought for my children, and they were only name brand. I love expensive stuff. And when I went back to the hotel, she's like, I noticed you bought all these things for your kids. What did you buy? You didn't even buy one panties for you. And I'm like, no, I don't need any. She's like, they need all this? And I'm like, they always do because I'm their mom. And she's like, I'm gonna tell you this, but she's 5 years older than me. She's like, I'm gonna tell you, see those little ungrateful little human beings? They're gonna step one day and say, you didn't do shit for them. And she's like, if you don't start living your fucking life, you're going to regret it because these little beings, these little ungrateful human beings, they're gonna sit there like, I don't owe you shit. I'm gonna live my life, I'm an adult. And then you're gonna just sit there like, oh, you're gonna sit there and cry. But at first I didn't take it well. I'm like, damn, how could she say that? She's so mean. I'm never gonna let her come back to my house. Oh my God. So why my kids? I thought about, I was in my feelings. I felt all types of ways. And then I realized, a couple of years later, I realized what she said was true.
Yes,
as my daughter
you're
got
a mother,
older.
but then you're also a person, and you're also a woman, and you need things to
This little meat girl told me, what did you do for me? Because I said no. She's like, you don't do nothing for me. I'm like, oh. I'm like, are you sure, baby girl? She's like, you don't do nothing. What do you do? What kind of a mother are you? I'm like, because I say no. She's like, you mean? And I'm like, wow. And that got me to think.
One time.
Yes, that got me to think. I'm like, hey.
Probably to the G-Wagon.
Yes. I need to start doing for me. I need to leave those suckers with people while I go and have fun for me. Because I used to be so guilty. Like, even if I eat something nice, I'm like, oh my God, my kids are happy. Even when I'm with coworkers and we like at a nice restaurant, I'm like, oh gosh, I wish they would allow kids. My kids should be here. It's like every experience, I wanted them to experience it with me. But in turn, I needed it for me because I never did self-care. So when I started doing things for me and I met my husband in Paris, my kids, they're like, oh no, no man is gonna come in here. It's the three of us. We're not allowing this because I allowed them to be the center of everything. So when a man started giving me attention, it was the end of the world. They're like, you should die. That's not okay, Mom. You should now be happy. You a mommy.
where that's concerned. It's more a lot like the village kind of environment. So the parents has to work and then there's no one around. And it's not even, it's a case where people even volunteer. So it's kind of the
family members, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of that culture. So if someone isn't working, they will watch the children, or grandparents are willing to watch, aunts, uncles, you name it, even your neighbor. While their parents go out to work.
It's a village to raise kids.
So you're not exactly being raised by other children. You're being raised by others, but it's kind of the culture. So others will volunteer and say, hey, I can do it for you. So you're not the adult watching them, but there's another adult.
So in the States, when people move to the States, they don't have that culture anymore. The family, like, they cannot bring their uncles, their aunts, their grandparents sometimes. So it becomes like, but people still want to have children at the same rate, and while they have two jobs. So that becomes a problem. And then the state will step in, and they don't understand the concept. How could I have my kids? And the state is so interested in my kids, they don't understand that. you have responsibilities. Once you have those children, they are your responsibilities.
Right.
You have to provide them with certain things. You have to give them time. And whenever you say that to people, they're like, time, my time is money. And it's like, your children should be priority. And it's very sad to hear some other cultures, they don't think of kids as being priority. Everything else is priority. Because in their minds, like children, that's something you just have. They don't think about the prepping. Because some people, it takes them a long time to have kids. Some people just have kids just like that. So it's like a lot of education is not around that. So people just take that for granted. It's like, oh, they're just my kids. So what do you think? My work is more important. And I'm like, please don't say that in court. When we go in front of the judge, do not tell the judge my job is priority, because they never gonna let you have those kids back. You know, you have to start changing your mind concept. You know, you have to change the mindset.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a lot of education.
And I would say that there is that change when Jamaicans go to the States and such, because then you realize you don't have that village anymore, and you now need to be working to budget for a babysitter or for the daycare and all of these things. So I think when they migrate to the States, they have smaller families, if any at all.
Yeah, some none.
Yes, some none, and then or they might just have like a one or two, because it then becomes an expense to say.
It's a huge
expense, right? So it's a huge
to
expense.
pay a babysitter. Oh my God, who has that income? Like it would be best for you to stay home. Because the same amount you would make if you're not a professional, that's what you're gonna pay somebody to come take care of your baby. Yeah.
Right.
And imagine like a household where there's just one parent.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
It's an even bigger issue. So, do you think that that's why now you are a better parent? Because you, from all the experiences growing up, you know, like being born to foreign parents, traveling to the U.S. Do you think that's why now your kids have had different experiences? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Like you raise them differently, you do things with them, and
Most definitely, yeah. Most definitely, because especially being in the system, and I see how the system, like I can pick the good and the bad in both cultures, because I'm in between cultures, right? So I don't want to just assume, oh, I'm taking this thing on and just impose on my children, because it's not for them, it's not their job. They're kids. I want them to be a kid. I remember I got married at 19, right? I was a kid at 19 years old, like I'm responsible for a house, but because of the culture, at 14 I was taking care of children. That became part of my life. My life, I was very parentified at a very young age. So you think I'm dreaming of doing something for me? I didn't know about self-care until maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
In my 30s, I'm like, oh, I matter, you know? I didn't think about that. So it's always your children, your children, your children. And then I'm like, oh my God. And then I would see parents taking vacations and not bring the children. I used to talk about them like, how dare you? Because to me, your children consume you. You live through them. And I realized, no, you still have a life. You and your man, your husband, whatever, you still need to live, and put them babies somewhere and go have fun, because people lose that. They have kids and they disconnect with their partners. They become roommates. Everything's about the children. When these little suckers are 18 and leave you, and then they get stuck, what am I going to do? I need to have another baby. It's like, you can live life and be happy without babies. And some people, like women like myself, cannot be happy without a kid. Like one is going like, I need to hurry up and have another one and replace. It's like they need to constantly be serving someone. They live through their kids, and when the kid is like, I don't want to do that, they don't love it to say that. First of all, when they're foreigners, and if a kid is there enough to say it, it's a problem, because they see themselves, they project themselves on this kid. And I have one that will tell me off all the time, like, that is you, Mom. You're just projecting on me right now. And I'm like, oh, you know? And then she's so smart. She catches me all the time. She keeps me on my toes. She's like, No, you're not. That is you, mommy, not me. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, and then I would think about it. I'm like, she's right. She's right. But we just learned to do that. Even though I'm very Americanized, I know. But the Haitian, that's something that I cannot give. That thing is here. And she's like, that's the Haitian in you, mommy, talking right now.
Yes, yes.
So I got a question, guys. One of the things I asked, and my sister here, guys, is very friendly.
You have kids?
No, I don't.
No, oh, okay. And that's how we end up coming across this young lady here. But one of the things that get me and is that you guys just travel, I guess, and you're willing to travel alone. What motivates you to do that? What do you get out of it? And why would you encourage more women to do it? I want both of you guys to elaborate, because women, we forget about ourselves.
Right, that's very true.
The self-care.
And I'm one that's very guilty of that. And I'm sure others who are watching, they're guilty of that. They're in need of that break and just need that encouragement.
Right.
What encouraged you to do it? And I want to hear you too. What encouraged you to do it?
What encouraged me to do it was that I got up one day and I decided that I don't need to travel with a crowd. And I'm like, I work hard. I deserve this. I'm worth it. I'm going to spend this money on me. So I decided I booked my trip. I booked the hotel and everything. And after I booked the flight, I'm like, well, there's no going back now.
Exactly. It's already done. It's all done.
Yes, and I just did it because I realized I'm just working and I'm just thinking that, oh, I need to achieve this and I need to achieve that, and I haven't stopped and paused to really enjoy and experience life. And I'm like, I don't want to watch from a television screen everyone else experiencing this, and I just decided I'm just gonna go for it. And so I did, and here we are.
How have you been enjoying it?
I've been having a blast. And the funny thing is, I think it also depends on where you are mentally, when you realize that I enjoy my company so much and I'm so comfortable in my skin that I can do anything by myself and still have fun.
Yes.
So the strangest thing I can tell you, since I've been here, from the airport to the hotels, everyone, staff and other guests, they all look at me weird. Thank you, gracias. They all look at me weird and say to me, Uno, like I'm checking it on this, like, Uno, I said, and it's like, no boyfriend, no friends, no. I said, no,
Just me. Hello.
and I interact with other guests because, and the funny thing is, since I've been here, even though I'm by myself, I don't feel alone because I have met so many people and made friends and everything, and I've hung out with people, and they're all people that I just met, including you.
Yes, exactly. I just walk up to her, I'm like, and I look at her, I'm like, who am I going to fuck? Who am I going to fuck? I'm like, she looks nice. Let me go and approach her. But it took me a little bit, and I had, I was a little bit drunk. I'm more approachable, and then I'm like, let me go and ask her.
She's more loose.
But I'm a little bit loose. I'm like, okay. That's why I approach you, because I'm like, somebody in here must have a charger.
Right.
Everything is close to them. I'm not gonna be.
So,
I need to get
hold
my
on.
phone.
I want you to answer the same question. I want you to motivate some women to get out. What motivates you to, because she travels a lot too.
Yeah. So for me, it took my divorce. Hey, hello, hallelujah. I was like, my marriage was more like a sentence. It was like a prison, you have freedom, you can open your door, but it was prison to me. The minute I stepped foot in that house, I was miserable. I was not happy. So I wanted more out of life. That's not the life I thought I would have. I wanted to have everything, but when I look around, I'm so comfortable, and people are like, oh my God, how dare you? Don't complain, just say thank you, Lord. I'm like, but I'm not happy. I come in this home, I'm imprisoned in my own home. You know, my husband would check my car to see how far I went that day, to see if I went outside of the, you know, I have a certain mileage I'm supposed to drive every day to the kids' school and come back and to the grocery store. So he'll look, first thing he does is look at the mileage, you know, that I've driven that day to see if I went to friends' house because I wasn't allowed to talk. You deserve to be a mother. I'm like, you deserve me, but I don't deserve happiness. We should be enough for you. We make you happy. I'm like, you give me hell, so why can't somebody be nice to me? They would not. They would not allow
When they get to the age where they're older and they meet people, they want to leave.
Exactly. They don't want to be around you, you know? And then I started going on vacations by myself. Oh my God, my kids, they hated me. They're like, how dare you? It's about us. And I'm like, no, baby, it's not about you all the time. And then that's when I started doing more for me. The more they fight me,
you had
and
to,
I'm like,
to know, separate and realize that you are not just
exactly.
mother.
I'm not just a mother.
Yes.
I am a human being.
You're a human
I have
being.
feelings. I have needs that need to be met. I didn't even talk to a guy for 7 years because of my children. I was so faithful to them. You think they're faithful to me? No, they're not. At 18, they're like, I'm grown, I'm an adult, I do what I want. And I'm like, no, you don't. You still live in my house. Well, I leave then. So I'm like, whoa, they can just leave you just like that without looking back. And then you as a mother being miserable, don't sleep at night. They're having fun. And you just sit there. they could care less. They're not going to realize this until they become a mother or they're older, they're more mature. So that's why I would encourage people to leave your kids somewhere, make arrangements, make sure they're safe, and live life. Because you don't need a man. You don't need to, you know, kids. Because when we live through our children, we regret it later on. A lot of people, they die at 40s now. God damn it, I am not dying because this is the peak of my life. At 40, that's when I woke up and said, what the fuck? I've been living through everybody else but for me. So I made it my business now to live for me and send them videos like, hey, look at mommy.
That's hilarious.
That's my story, girl. Run with that.
Wow. Well, guys, I just want to say thank you all so very much. Women, I encourage you guys to do self-care, travel more.
Do more.
Do more. And it's okay. We don't have to feel so guilty.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it, you know. And when you go out, meet people, be willing to meet people.
Drink some alcohol and then be like me and then say, hey, I'm lit.
I'm still like getting comfortable with it, you know. People think I'm like, but then I could be real like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought she was, and I'm like, I'm with them, like, what the hell? I want you a YouTuber? What is this? I'm talking to people more. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, people think like, because I'm a YouTuber, that I'm just, like, I love kids, I love people, but then again, I am reserved. I noticed that about me a little bit, you know?
No, I came here and I'm just thinking, hi, hablo inglés.
No hablas español.
Yes, I've been walking, hablo inglés.
Habla inglés.
No hablas inglés.
Yes. And when there's a language barrier and you can't say, you use gestures like, you know, you dance.
Where do I get a bigger boob?
Verbal language, we all speak that, right?
Gestures and they understand.
Sign language, yeah.
Yeah, when I see a black man, I'm like, oh, you Haitian? You Haitian? You know thinking? Yeah. And I found out he's Haitian. I found out all these Haitian people that work here. And I'm like, hey, speak Creole too?
Yes, so guys, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Women travel more, even men too, guys. Just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Take that time out to have that peace and just have fun and enjoy life, guys. Life is short.
I know.
We know.
Can never come back and do it again.
That's right. We know it's guaranteed. We're gonna go, but can you guarantee that you lived while you're here? And that's a big thing. So guys, don't forget to kindly like, share, definitely
That's right.
subscribe
Yeah.
to this channel. Till next time, guys.
Veni me font ti pala avon. Est-ce que tu même gens pense songer bouchou ak n'importe parti dans corps qui ta malade ou bien faire en sorte que toujours est en santé? C'est qu'on sort de prendre son cheveu dans tête? Non, ou pas de comme ça. Le sous prendre son cheveu, c'est plus la en santé. Et pour ça fait, faut qu'on utilise bon genre produit et produits qui allient avec type cheveux. Simply Netty. Simply Netty, c'est une gamme qui a la donne produit pour tout type de cheveux, surtout cheveux naturels. Et il y a la donne une gamme pour soins peau. Gamme cheveux a un assemblage 5 produits. Shampoo à conditioner pour clean cheveux, pommade pour peint avec l'huile pour bailler cheveux en pile volume et puis faire long. Une huile pour botte tête qui fait cheveux botte tête ou pousser dans un badge. Gamme pour a la donne sérum, savon citron, turmeric à carotte. Ou même pour ta changer couleur, on utiliser produits chimiques. Pour ta gen tache noire, sérum nan c'est pour. Ou même qui ta gen bouton dans visage, savon citron noir plus sérum nan c'est pour. Ou même qui veut visage ou vin belle, sans tache, avec belle couleur naturelle, savon turmeric à carotte noir c'est pas. Tout produit nous fait avec ingrédients naturels sans produits chimiques. Pour aller nous et puis voyez l'argent par cachap, numéro nous c'est 781 964 32 14. Pour plus d'infos, visitez notre website nous qui c'est www.simplynetty.com. Simply Netty, volume, longueur, belles cheveux, beauté, souplesse, peau sans tache.